Hello everybody and welcome to a Hellbent for Cardboard pre-release video. My name is Trenton and today we're going to be going over a few different things to cover this pre-release event. First of all, we're going to go over the pre-release event times and dates and the prizes. Second of all, we'll take a look at some of the contents of our pre-release pack. And then last but not least, we'll actually dive into the packs themselves and take a look at some of the cards. Alright, so to start things off, we're going to be talking about the actual event schedule. The first event is going to be Saturday, January 13th at 12:01 a.m. So this is our first midnight release that Hellbent is doing. We're pretty excited about that, and it's actually going to be a maximum of 3 rounds. Normally, pre-release events are 4 rounds. However, for the interest of time, we're cutting out that extra round, so that way you still get a chance to come out and play with the cards, but then you can get some sleep for our next event, which is going to be Saturday, January 13th at 2 p.m. And this is, again, just going to be a regular sealed event. 7 p.m. is going to be our famous two-headed giant event, and the top 2 teams will actually receive a special prize for that one, which I'll be going over in a little bit, and then we'll also be catering food for that event as well. Last but not least, on Sunday, January 14th, we have 2 more events. We've got a 2 p.m. sealed, if stock remains, and then, of course, 7 p.m. with the remaining stock. Now, signups for the midnight pre-release event are going to actually start at 8 o'clock at night, right when our standard F&M starts. So if you're going to come out for that event, you have plenty of time to make sure that you're signed up for the pre-release event. All other events are going to start signups 1 hour beforehand. So the 2 p.m. events are going to have a sign up at 1 o'clock, and then the 7 p.m.s are going to have the sign up at 6 o'clock. Alright guys, so let's talk about some prizes. The first thing that I want to go over is going to be the prize support for the midnight event. Because we are cutting that 4th round, we have to adjust things a little bit, but it's still going to be packs per win. And what I mean by that is your overall record at the end of the night is going to determine how many packs you get. If you go undefeated, you'll receive 5 packs. If you go 2-1, you'll receive 3 packs. If you win one of your games and go 1-2, you'll get 2 packs. And then just for playing in the event, everybody will get 1 pack if you go 0-3. All other events are going to be 2 packs per player, which means that just for showing up and playing in the event, you're going to get 1 pack, and then that other pack is going to go into the prize pool and be split based on, standings. So in addition to the prize support for the actual event, there are a bunch of other cool Rivals of Ixalan Hellbent for Cardboard merchandise that you can either receive or win throughout the weekend. The first of which is going to be this playmat that you see laid here on the table. Really high quality, really nice, and it features some of the artwork from the new set. And this can actually be yours for an additional $10 in addition to your $25 entry for any of your events. We will also be doing a raffle during the midnight pre-release event where we'll be giving away several different items throughout the night. One of which is this very high quality Hellbent for Cardboard Rivals of Ixalan tote bag. Now, if you've been to some of our other pre-release events, you may have seen these in the past, so definitely come out and try and expand your collection. But these are very, very nice and can be yours if you come to the midnight pre-release event. Last but not least, I did mention that there was a special prize for the winners of the two-headed giant event on Saturday, and that is a Hellbent for Cardboard Rivals of Ixalan card binder. Very nice stuff, very high quality, and a good way to protect the cards that you're going to be pulling from our pre-release events. Alright, now for the moment that you guys have been waiting for, we're going to go ahead and dive into the pre-release box. And for those of you that have never done a pre-release before, this would be a good idea to figure out what's exactly inside so that there's no surprises when you do sit down for your first pre-release event. So when you open the box, the first thing that you're going to notice is that it is going to come with its own spin-down D20 dice, which you can either just add to a collection or you can use it for your life counter. It's just a nice little collectible. You will also get a promotional card. It's going to be either a rare or a mythic from the set, and it's going to have the date stamp of the pre-release weekend, 13th and 14th of January 2018. This one here is Direfleet Poisoner. It's a 2-drop 2/2 with Flash and Death Touch. Whenever it enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control gets +1/+1 and Death Touch till end of turn. So that's actually insanely good if anybody's going to be building any pirate decks this weekend. You definitely want to try and include this if you get your hands on one. You're also going to get this little tip sheet, which will help out those new players with exactly what they need to do to build their decks. It's not exactly like Constructed. It's only a 40-card deck rather than 60, so you want to make sure you have the right proportion of lands and non-land cards in your deck. And then last but not least, you do get some packs. You get 2 packs of Ixalan, which is the previous set, and then you get 4 packs of the new set, Rivals of Ixalan, which you can then use any of the cards from any of these packs to construct your deck for the tournament. Alright, so now we're going to take a deeper look at some of these packs. For the interest of time, we're not going to go ahead and look at the Ixalan packs since those are old news and we want to see what new things we're going to be playing with. So without further ado, I'm going to start cracking these open. We'll go quickly through some of the commons and uncommons if they seem like they're going to be really good, but mostly I want to take a look at some of the rares. So the first rare that we got from this one is Path of Discovery. It is a green enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. Now, Explore was a mechanic that we saw in the previous set, Ixalan, which allows you to reveal the top card of your library. You put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. So this is definitely going to be a good card as far as gaining card advantage, pumping up your creatures, and things like that. Now the next pack, let's see what we get out of this one. Alright, so our rare for this one, Mastermind's Acquisition. It is going to be 4, 2 black, 2 colorless, and it's a sorcery, and you get to choose one. Search your library for a card and put that into your hand, then shuffle your library, or choose a card you own from outside the game and put that into your hand. Now this is one that I was actually really excited about because it's been a while since we've actually had a good tutor card in Standard, which basically allows you to choose any card from your deck and add it to your hand. However, this does have the added bonus of allowing you to choose any card from your sideboard if you're playing in any constructed tournament, which is what that means when it says any card from outside the game. It's referring to anything that's going to be in your sideboard, or in the case of pre-release weekend, anything that's in your sealed pool. Alright, our next rare is going to be Tilioliana's Summoner. Yeah, her Summoner, whatever that is. And that's a 2-drop 1/1 creature with Ascend. Now, this is one of the new mechanics from the set. And Ascend is a buff that you pretty much give yourself for the rest of the game. If you control 10 or more permanents. So it says if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. And there's several different types of cards in the set that'll do different things if you have City's Blessing. So this gives you that buff if you have 10 or more permanents on the field. Then, whenever Tilioliana's Summoner attacks, you may pay 1x in red. If you do, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. At the beginning of your next end step, exile those tokens until unless you have the City's Blessing. So, right off the bat, that's insane that you get to, go wide with tokens. And then, of course, if you have that buff, they don't have to leave the field at the end of that turn. And then last but not least, we do have one more pack here. We're going to see what we get out of that. And this is going to be a blue rare. So it looks like we got one of each color with the exception of white. This is a 3-drop enchantment, Induced Amnesia. When Induced Amnesia enters the battlefield, target player exiles all cards from his or her hand face down, then draws that many cards. When Induced Amnesia is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return the exiled cards to their owner's hand. That's a really interesting mechanic. This is probably something that'll be used in some sort of control decks, especially if you have any type of card that doesn't allow your opponent to draw additional cards. You kind of, lock them out of having a hand. So that's pretty interesting. That about does it, guys. That's going to be all the information you're going to need to participate in any of the Hellbent for Cardboard pre-release events this weekend. Remember, we've got the midnight release event on Saturday morning, 12:01 a.m. Then we've got the 2 p.m. on Saturday and the 7 p.m. two-headed giant as well on Saturday. Then moving on to Sunday, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. while supplies last. Make sure to pick up your playmat for an additional $10 on top of your $25 entry for any of your events. And come out and have fun and crack some packs, play with some new cards, and we hope to see you there.